In the dark of love I sit and wait. This is home. This is where I ought to be. This is home. Right here with you and me. At night I toss and turn when you're not here with me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of I Am I. My name is still Joshua Ansley after all this time. So, today I want to talk about music. So, this might be like a 3-hour vlog, right? A lot of you who know me know how important music has been in my life, right? I used to tour as a musician, Streetlight Manifesto, Catch 22, Hurt, a bunch of different bands. And if you take any of my yoga classes, you know, playing and singing in Shavasana, you know, I'm working on a new record with my new band, The Least of Thieves. Working on a rock kirtan project as well, like some real fucking heavy melt your face kirtan. And so music has obviously been a huge part of my life. And I just want to talk about a few things about music as who we are as human beings and as a healing modality and how actually really important it is. There's a few of us out there that, not a few of us, I'm not one of them, but there's a few people out there that don't actually like music. I don't understand that. I actually do understand it. I mean, I try to keep my mind open to it because it is so powerful. It's such a powerful thing that it may move things that people don't want moved. Maybe shouldn't be moved, I don't know. But it can definitely open up gates, you know, it can really be powerful. And I can understand and I'm not saying this is the only reason, but I can understand from a trauma perspective of not wanting that stuff to be ruffled and moved. And so I can understand, and even when I've been in those spaces before, any sort of music, you know, it's like I can't even handle it. It brings up a lot of shit. Just the vibration, because the vibration itself, it's what the power of Om is, right? Is to just vibrate, to vibrate yourself, to be humming that yourself, or just being in the vibration of it, or near that. So even if you don't do it, it still vibrates you. So it can be like, I don't want that movement happening, right? That resistance. And so I understand that. That's one reason. Who knows? And there could also be just the reason of once you've passed all that stuff, you know, there's just that silence, because silence is such a huge part of the music. Silence is a tremendous part of it. Without silence, there's nothing relative to that, right? So it's not even knowing when a song ends or a song begins, or with different songs, or, you know, the pause can give so much pause, right? It can just give so much space, and you earn that pause. I mean, even in the melody of speaking as a conversation, right? Something happens in that pause and leaving space for other people and stuff like that, which I don't do very well, but I'm learning, I'm trying. So the silence is so important too. So maybe there's a space of moving beyond it. I don't know, but I understand how important it is in my life, right? And as a healing modality, there's a lot of really cool, interesting things that I just wanted to throw out there that some people might have heard of and some people have never heard of. But even if you heard of them, it's always cool to be like, fuck yeah, dude, that's so awesome. So even in as who we are as human beings, I think that's so important. I want to speak about this to start, is that we have all these constituents of music. We have the rhythm, we have the melody, we have the harmony, hopefully, you know, or we're working towards harmony, or understanding even the dissonance in the harmony and how it resolves into harmony. The resolution of the music, of the chordal progressions, of the tonal progressions, right? So in our lives, we have all that. We have the rhythm of our heartbeat, right? And that rhythm of a heartbeat from the rhythm of the breath, right? So that finding our own breath, that's why I start every single yoga class with just finding our own breath and getting into our own rhythm. And then there's ways to learn to manage it and change it if you want. It's like learning any other skill of life. You know, if you like figuring out, I could do this, it offers you a new palette, right? So the breath work and pranayama offers you a new way to understand that breath and to work into your subconscious, because that breath is ruled by the subconscious mind generally, unless we start taking an active participation in it. So that rhythm is always there. So it's important to get down into that rhythm of who we are as a human being in our breath, right? And to become aware of that. Because as we step out into the world, the rest of the world just has its rhythm and has what it wants and the way it wants it. Chill. It's just for decoration. So the rest of the world has it's the way it wants it to be, and has it, wants you to move to their rhythm. That's why it's so important, as a human being, to remember your own rhythm, to check back in with your rhythm before you step out into the world. Otherwise, you don't even recognize that your drives, your wants, your motivations, all your things that you think you want are not even yours. You're programmed from society and something else. You've been handed a rhythm of the world, the culture, the society, the town, the school, the family that you live in. It's all handed to you, right? And it completely affects you if you don't take the time to get back into your own rhythm. And that's what's so powerful about meditation, right? Is coming back into your own rhythm. And then understanding how that rhythm is just the rhythm of your heartbeat is the foundation, or the rhythm of the breath is the foundation of all of it. And you move into the rhythm of your heartbeat. And then there are trillions of cells in your body that is all operating. They're all operating on some rhythmic understanding, right? Just finding their place in the rhythm. And as I make a record right now, I'm working on it. It's pretty powerful to see in my life. Sometimes there's been like 12 horn parts, or and there's bass, guitar, drums, 3-part harmonies and all this stuff, and you hear all the parts and something's off, and it's almost overwhelming because you have to sit there and be like, okay, which part is off and what are we relative to? And it takes a lot of work to sift through all the different parts, and that's where we find the harmony in ourselves with all the different melodies that we're playing with our actions, our words, our thoughts, our emotions, right? All these different melodies that are playing, and all these different songs and all these different melodies that are handed to us as well. How do we find harmony within that, right? So a harmony between our mind and our body and our emotions and all this kind of stuff, so we can live in harmony with ourselves, and then also with harmony with the world around us. How can we actually get to our own rhythm so that we can allow ourselves to choose to be affected by other people's rhythms or not, right? That's what's so important, instead of recognizing. So it's about becoming conscious if you are being affected by other people's rhythms or not, and choosing which rhythms you want to be affected, and be like, hey, all right. I mean, because there's such a powerful thing in rhythm itself. Yeah, I'm going to just knock that over again and again. Awareness. What we talked about last week about proprioception and awareness of the body and surroundings. There's so many different kinds of rhythms, and how we've started to try to understand rhythms, and it's even broken down into like generally 3 and 4, or really odd and even if you want to break it down, because it gets broken down into, you can have 23, 24th or whatever, but or 23/8 rather. But to really understand it in sort of an odd and even thing is a sort of a masculine, feminine. One is very linear and straight, and the other is a little more enigmatic, like, right? 3 is usually more of a feminine understanding of the rhythm. It's a little different than the straight masculine 4/4, right? And you break it down to that perspective. And so then you can choose and understand how your rhythms move, and how your different rhythms that move within you, right? So as a healing modality, music is so powerful when you understand that the chakras, that it's all energy, and it's all vibration, and everything's vibrating. There's if you haven't seen the Chladni plates, Chladni by Ernst Chladni, they were pioneered, and he was a German, I guess, mathematician and a musician as well, and he studied the frequency. And there are these plates that if you pour salt on, it's not that easy to make it, but if you pour sand onto these plates, right, and then vibrate the plate at particular frequencies, the sand on the plate goes from just a mess, and it starts to find shapes. And as you increase the frequency, the shape gets more and more intricate and detailed and complicated. It's pretty amazing stuff when you start to think about the frequencies and how we're affected, and understand that happens with the salt, the sand, or whatever you're using. And it also happens when, like healing bowls, and if you fill a healing bowl with water, and it happens with the ripples in the water and the shapes in the water. So as a healing modality, when you're using healing bowls or understanding music as a whole, it's actually a really powerful thing, and it's vibrating all that water and all that matter in you to certain frequencies. It's pretty powerful. And then you get into conspiracy theories, because like the Western world, the Western music starts at the A natural is 440 hertz. Right, and there's some people say that, and I don't know, I have to do the research according to exactly with the Chladni plate or whatever, but that if you recognize if you vibrate it at 432, there's a debate that it should be at 432, and at 432 hertz is really where the synchronization happens. Otherwise, 440 is actually off. It's in between tones, and there's stuff all over the place. And then, of course, there's conspiracy theories that it was chosen that way purposely so that the music in the Western world can leave everybody like scattered and not in harmony and stuff like that. And it's kind of interesting, really, when you think about it, because it really is. You see it there when you see the Chladni plate, and it's really powerful stuff, right? So is understanding how this music can affect us, and in the Western scale, it's all relative. Like, music is all relative. It's all math. It's all beautiful, and it includes the intellect as well as the emotions. I mean, the emotions. If you have, it's not just for design, just for aesthetic, but if you have a major scale, if you have a major chord, right, it feels a certain way, especially if you move down to that minor. It's like, ooh, there's a feeling involved with that, right? And Nada yoga is the yoga of sound, right? And it uses these ragas, not like raga in Dvesha, but raga is a sort of a mode. It's kind of a tonal modality in the Western understanding. It's this progression and understanding of notes, and it seems like it's almost used to evoke a certain thing, evoke devotion. That's when you get into like deep kirtan and stuff like that the music is used to evoke this devotion. It comes from this vibration, right? This om, the sound. And so the ragas apparently evoke certain different feelings, and when you see it in the modality of the Western music and see how like just a minor or major or different modes can really actually help you evoke a certain feeling, then it kind of makes sense. And there really is a real power behind that to evoke and manipulate, not in a bad way, but to manipulate our emotions, right? And as an artist, what you kind of want to evoke with your music, right? It's really powerful stuff. So from that perspective, from the chakra perspective, we move into, as you breathe this rhythm in, right, which is all connected. So the rhythm of your breath and the rhythm of the heartbeat as it takes this oxygen out, or if you oxygen or love or breath or whatever you want to call it, right, and it pumps it out into every area in the body, right, those lungs are in the heart space as you breathe that air in. And in that breath, that love is in the heart space, right, within the heart, right? So it's that breath and that love that the heart pumps out to everywhere in the body. And that heart space is called anahata, which means unstruck. So I usually talk about that being the unstruck place, meaning that unwounded, that place that cannot be wounded inside of you. And that's just an interpretation, really, because traditionally what it really is the unstruck sound of your soul. And unstruck meaning that it is eternal. So it was never like a sound bowl where you have to gong it, or a string that you have to pluck it. It is unstruck, and it's always resonating, right? And the universe has its own universal sound. That is the sound of Om. So it's really powerful to understand your own song and move down into your own song for this understanding as a metaphor, but also quite literally understanding your own vibrational frequencies, how they're resonating together, how your thoughts are creating those emotional frequencies, and how the music and the things that you take in and the people you surround yourself with, and how you're affected by the different rhythms and the sounds and the information that rides on those sounds, because that's really what the wave is a vehicle of information, right? Light waves, sound waves, all this stuff is information. So it's coming in and affecting you in certain ways, and if you don't recognize it, then intellectually those sound waves are now formed through the mouth and the way we articulate language, which is pretty amazing, right? And then it has even more direct information. But it's about listening on a deeper level. It's about listening with your heart. It's about listening to that deeper song of your soul, right? And that, my friends, is the beauty and the power of music. I mean, that is just the scraping the top of it, right? So what it is to really play and understand your soul, your music, your sound. So let's just take a few breaths here, get into our rhythm. And just become aware of the rhythm of the breath. Some sages say they can even feel their own heartbeat. And they can feel the blood pulsing through the bodies, through the veins and the arteries. Just start to recognize that rhythm in your breath. Just settle easy, nice and easy into that breath. We're not pushing and fighting, we're allowing our natural rhythm without it being affected by our thoughts. That's why it's so wonderful to be in nature, to start to listen to the rhythms of the ocean, of the wind, moving into the rhythm of the night and the day, everything in a cyclical pattern, just like your breath. And just allow yourself to go deeper, to hear the song of your own soul, that unstruck sound of who you are, that is constantly, eternally ringing. Just breathe. You were here before. Couldn't look you in the eye. Float like a feather. Let's try this again. You were here before. Couldn't look you in the eye. Just like an angel, skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, oh, she's running out the door. She's running out. Run, run, run.
whatever you want. Wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. We do belong here. I love you guys. In Lakesha Lakin, I am you, you are me. Namaste. In the dark of love, I sit and wait. This is home. This is where I ought to be. This is home. Right here with you and me. At night I toss and turn when you're not here with me. I'm not lost in my